Hi, welcome to the in-depth overview for VBrass French horns. Here we'll look at every control in detail, and for more information you can visit our website. Okay, let's dive into the instrument itself and its interface. Keep in mind that virtually every control can be automated. Simply right-click on the setting you want to adjust and move your controller of choice, and our engine will automatically recognize and assign your controller to that setting. On the front page of the interface, you'll find the main controls. First, the vibrato. This can be set to automatic, which essentially means vibrato off or on. Automatic depending on time, where you can draw the exact shape you want the vibrato to follow in the preferences. And finally, manual, which allows you to mimic each undulation and can replicate any vibrato extremely accurately. Second, the airflow, which controls the dynamics, and below that the dial to control the timbre of the sound, from very brassy to very mellow. In the corner, you can select from several ways to mute the sound, and you can control how much the mutes affect the overall volume of the sound. And finally, the amount of reverb. As we have two types of reverb, a simple impulse response based one for close mics, as well as the more detailed virtual space. You can select between these two options using the small menu. Also on the main interface is a menu to choose between different presets or load or save your own. We've included a few contrasting sounds to help get you started. The first tab is for mixing. We captured each instrument with 4 microphone positions, and there is an option to choose between a processed and an unprocessed set of sounds in the menu above the sliders. You can mix these mic positions however you like and apply a 3-band EQ, with the option to control the frequency cutoff point of the high and low filters. You can also control the close mic sound, with panning and delay to help avoid phasing, as well as customizing the reverb and choosing between mono and stereo. There are 2 different kinds of reverbs available. A standard convolution reverb with a wet-dry control, decay, and a few contrasting rooms to choose from. And second, the virtual space. The virtual space is a room simulation which allows you to place the instrument in any position in a real room and to choose the microphone configuration that you prefer. It's also based on convolution, but it's really exactly what happens in that particular room, at that particular seat, and using that particular microphone position. So it contains all the information, the real reverberation, the phase, directivity, and the EQ created by that room at that point in space to the corresponding microphone position. This allows you to create an endless number of ensemble setups, placing each instrument wherever you like, in true position. You can also adjust the reverb duration and the width of the room, you can dampen the low and high frequencies, and you can choose between 4 different types of stereo source. The Preferences tab allows you to take in-depth control on many more technical details, all of which are explained in detail on the web page. This panel is almost identical to the one for our V-Winds libraries, but with some new features. And as with our other V-Series libraries, there is a huge amount of option for customizing your sound even further. From the motor tax, an extra triple F layer, the legato transitions, effects such as flutters, natural variation in the air and pitch, how much noise you want to hear from believers, how accurate you want the notes to sound in terms of pitch and tuning, how you want the vibrato to sound from variation in speed to depth to volume, 3 options for round robins, control over the volume of individual notes, and you can even adjust beach harmonic to completely alter the sound and character of the instruments. In the MIDI section, you can draw the modulation curve however you want, which can be useful for performing music with a smaller dynamic range. There is also an ensemble feature for if you're programming in a hurry and want something automatically harmonized. For this, you can set a timing imprecision, select a scale, and the pitch difference between each instrument to allow for a more realistic live ensemble. Of course, a more convincing performance will always result from programming each instrument separately, but the ensemble feature is great for sketching ideas or for writing in a hurry. We've added support for different wind controllers, like the EWI and the Aerophone, as well as basic MIDI keyboards. And finally, there are a few key switches used for special features, such as key noises, breath sounds, repeated notes, and small pitch bends. These are useful, but they're not required to play the instrument. All of these features and controls can help make a performance sound incredibly realistic and lifelike. And to enhance this even further, we included a randomize option on many of them, so that, just like in a real performance, nothing will be played exactly the same way twice. If this is the first you've heard of our V-Series instruments, head over to our website and check out the other instruments in the series. We have saxophones, trumpets and cornets, trombones, euphonium and sousaphone, oboes and English horns, bassoons, all sorts of flutes and clarinets, and many more on the way. That's all for this video. You can get VBrass French horns today from theacousticsamples.net. Thanks for watching.